My mother-in-law keeps letting herself into our house like it's hers. Now I dread my own front door. You know that feeling when you buy your first home? That rush of excitement, that sense of finally our space? Yeah, I had that. For about 2 weeks. Then my mother-in-law decided our house was her second home, and every time I hear the front door creak now, my stomach drops, because it might be her again, ready to rearrange our living room and remind me why I'll never fold shirts the right way. Hi Reddit, my name's Sarah. I'm 29, just got married to Mike, 31, and we live in suburban Indiana. Small neighborhood, nice neighbors, lots of cul-de-sacs and dogs named Buster. We bought our first home about 5 months ago. White porch, cozy backyard, hardwood floors. I was obsessed with the listing when I saw it. It felt like the perfect place to start our lives together. What I didn't know was that I was also unintentionally signing up for a crash course in Mother-in-Law Management 101. Mike's mom, Agatha, yes, that's her real name, has always been the helpful type. Or at least, that's how she describes herself. She's 63, lives about 15 minutes away, and believes the 1950s were the peak of civilization. She makes a mean casserole, owns about 6 different types of Tupperware from the 80s, and still calls a microwave a radar range. She also doesn't understand boundaries, like at all. It started with the spare key. We gave it to her, just in case of emergencies. A completely normal, responsible thing, right? Except her definition of emergency turned out to be, I thought the living room could use a little sprucing up while you were at work. Mike and I both work 9 to 5s. He's in IT, I'm in marketing. We leave early, come home around 6, and we're usually drained. One Wednesday, we came home to find the couch in a completely different spot. The coffee table had been moved, the pictures on the wall were rearranged, and there was a brand new rug I'd never seen before. It was on sale at Hobby Lobby, Agatha chirped when we called her. You needed something more traditional. Yours looked too modern. I was speechless. Mike just laughed it off. She's just trying to help, he said, flipping the remote. Okay, fine, 1 rug, I could live with that. But it didn't stop. She started coming over more frequently, always while we were gone. Sometimes we'd find new towels, other times the dishes were reorganized. One time she switched out our curtains and left a post-it note on the windowsill that read, Much better for natural light, Mom. Still, I tried to be grateful. She's trying, that's what I kept telling myself. Then came the day of the fridge inspection. Mike and I had gone out to dinner the night before and didn't leave any leftovers. When we came home the next day, Agatha was sitting in the kitchen, arms folded, looking like she was preparing for trial. There's nothing in the fridge, she said. You don't cook for Mike? What if he gets hungry? I explained we had dinner out, that we were adults, that it was fine. Fine, she repeated like I'd said we drink spoiled milk for fun. You should be meal prepping at least 5 days in advance. You both work. He can't live on junk. I glanced at Mike, waiting for backup. He smiled awkwardly and sipped water like it was suddenly the most interesting beverage in the world. From then on, it escalated. Agatha took it upon herself to start packing Mike's lunches, Tupperware stacked in the fridge like meal prep TikToks gone wrong. I opened a container once to find turkey meatloaf and a handwritten note. You're welcome, sweetie. Love, Mom. She never made lunch for me, not once. Now let's talk about the laundry. I usually fold clothes on Sunday. I left a clean load in the basket in our bedroom, planning to deal with it after lunch. But Agatha beat me to it. Not by folding it. Oh no. She dragged the basket into the living room, dumped it on the couch, and waited. Mike and I walked in to find her sitting next to the pile like a cat guarding its prey. I thought I'd watch and show you the right way to fold dress shirts, she said sweetly. You know, it's important to keep a man looking sharp. Reader, I folded that laundry with her sitting 2 feet away, critiquing every cuff. Too wrinkled. You're creasing it wrong. Don't you ever iron? Meanwhile, Mike? He was upstairs napping, of course. I started to get nervous any time I heard a car door outside. If the gate creaked or the wind hit the screen door just right, my stomach flipped. Is it her again? Did she bring more curtains? Will she find that I forgot to refill the ice tray and question my entire existence? I finally tried to bring it up. One Sunday morning, over coffee, I said, Agatha, I really appreciate the help, but do you think maybe you could call before coming over, just so we know ahead of time? She blinked, stunned, then came the hurt smile. Sarah, I'm family. I shouldn't need permission to visit my own son. I raised him. I know what he needs. Mike looked at me, then at his mom, then at the ceiling. Maybe it's just a little too much sometimes, he said quietly. But it was too late. Agatha was already misting up. If I'm such a burden, I'll stop coming altogether. I'll just stay home alone while my son forgets about me. I felt like the villain in a soap opera, the evil daughter-in-law who drove the sweet, caring mother into exile. Of course, she didn't stop coming. She just started texting me after she was already in the house. Hey, honey, just organizing your spice rack. Hope that's okay. It wasn't. It was never okay. And still, Mike wouldn't confront her. He kept saying she was trying, that this was just how she is, that she's old-fashioned. But I was drowning, in Tupperware, in throw pillows, in judgment. I couldn't relax in my own home. I couldn't leave dishes in the sink without worrying she'd find them. I ironed every blouse like I was being graded. I started folding laundry behind locked doors. I'd hide my takeout containers so she wouldn't ask why I wasn't cooking real food. One day, she even brought over a chore chart for me. Just a suggestion, she said brightly. I used one when I was newly married, helps keep the home in shape. It had things like Monday, mop and sweep floors. Wednesday, deep clean bathrooms. Friday, bake for Mike. Bake for Mike. I wanted to cry, or scream, or just drive to Target and sit in the parking lot for 3 hours. Reddit, I need help. How do I set real, respectful boundaries with Agatha? How do I get Mike to understand that this isn't about help anymore? It's about space, autonomy, and the ability to breathe in our own house. I'm not trying to break a family. I just want to feel like my home belongs to me, not the woman who still labels our fridge shelves like we're in college. Any advice would be a godsend. Thanks for reading.